Grab your fabric scraps, friends. We're sewing a classic today, quirky style. Hi, I'm Jackie and I love all things scrap fabric. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today we're creating block number 13 in our Quirky Block series. I did not complete the Ohio Star block on camera. However, I will have a pattern for you once we complete the series. But we're going to be working on block number 13 today. And that block is the Weathervane Quilt Block. It is truly a classic. This block has a rich history dating back to the mid-1800s. This block symbolizes direction, guidance, and a sense of adventure. And of course, we're giving it that quirky Quilt-As-You-Go twist. And I do have something exciting to share with you, and they are in these boxes. But first, let me share with you the materials you're going to need for this project, and then I'll bring you down to the table and I'll share with you what's in the boxes, and we'll get started on our block today. Here are the materials you'll need for the Quirky Quilt series. For each block, you'll need scrap fabric, one piece of batting or flannel that measures 10 inches by 10 inches, one piece of your backing fabric. I'm simply using a muslin that is 10 inches by 10 inches. One piece of Pellon P44F lightweight interfacing that measures 10 inches by 10 inches. This is optional. You could sew your block pieces directly onto the batting if you would like. I'm using the interfacing as my canvas so that I can lay out the pieces easily. Various pieces of 2-inch wide scrap fabric pieces. To join the quilt, they will be 10 inches by 2 inches, and we'll need some longer pieces for joining the rows. A rotary cutter with a pinking blade or pinking shears, or if you're cutting a raw edge piece for your block, you could use your straight scissors. And I do have some Elmer's washable school glue to baste my backing fabric to my batting. Pins or clips, invisible thread for the top thread, and black thread in your bobbin if you're doing the hand look stitch, which is number 27 on my Brother PS 500. You could also use a light gray thread for the top thread and black thread in the bottom. And I do have a free pattern for you so that you can follow along. The link to the pattern will be in the description box below. This is so exciting, guys. The fabulous folks at Guggenheim have sent me 3 pairs of scissors to try out, just in exchange for my honest opinion. So I thought we would open these together. The first one is called the Guggenheim Precision 2, and it does have a rubber-coated full cast steel handle. Look at these scissors. Aren't they beautiful? Look at that tip. And they fit in your hand so nice. Perfect. The Guggenheim scissors features a tri-sharp blade. The things that make these scissors special and unique in the industry, their blade edge degree. I don't know much about it, but each Guggenheim blade is meticulously sharpened to an incredibly low 8 to 12 degree angle. And look how precise you can be. I just love these. So I know we'll be using those. These scissors are the Guggenheim 9-inch Super Scissors, and they feature a unique tri-sharp design as well. very comfortable to cut with. And they just feel good. Steel quality is also important in a scissor. And the Guggenheim scissor consists of a special steel that has a superior hardness, scoring just below 60 HRC. So we'll definitely be using those. And you can see that the tip, look at the tip, very, very precise. And these are the ones that I was going to order because you guys know I do a lot of pinking. And the third thing that completes the tri-sharp theory is leverage. The bolt here is strategically placed just past the halfway point of the shears, and it creates a powerful leverage that enhances an already smooth cut while taking pressure off your wrists. So that is the tri-cut, and look how smooth that is. So we're going to try these out today. And I believe when I looked today, there were coupons for each one of these. I will leave a link to their website down below. I am not an affiliate. I'm just trying them out. You guys know I love to share my favorite tools with you. So we'll line these up and we'll use them as we need them. I know I'll be using the pinking shears, so we'll get those ready. Because in the Quirky Quilt Series, we pink our edges of our fabric. So we'll put these to the side. We'll keep these out. And I do want to thank the Guggenheim team for this opportunity to share these scissors with you. And I am thrilled to share my honest opinion with all of you. And again, I will put a link to their website in the description box below. I don't earn anything from the link. It's purely for your convenience. So I do hope that you'll check them out. As always, in our Quirky Quilt series, we have to create our quilt sandwich. I have a piece of batting that is 10 by 10. I have a backing fabric that is 10 by 10. I have basted the backing to the batting with Elmer's school glue. And we're going to put this aside. Now we're going to work on our pieces. And this is just something I drew in EQ8. Normally for the Weathervane Quilt Block, these would be squares. But because we're going quirky style, we can pretty much do whatever we want, right? So we need to cut out our pieces. I do have a pattern for you, and I will link that in the description box below. So we'll need the A pieces, and you'll need 2 of those. We have to do a border for this one because we have some points, and we don't want to lose those. And then the D, you'll need 1, the C, 4, and the E is 4, the G is 8, and the F is 4. So let's grab our handy dandy Guggenheim pinking shears, and let's get started cutting these out. So for the A pieces, I already marked on here that I needed 2. I have my erasable marking pen, and I'm just going to trace around this one. You could freehand it if you wanted. I'm just showing you guys a good way to get the pieces from the pattern. Because it's quirky, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's try out our Guggenheim super scissors. We're just gonna cut, oh yeah. You guys are going to love this. It is so smooth. Look at the edge. All right, and then we're just gonna place that on top of here. I'm just gonna put one pin in here. Like this. Now we're ready for the pinking shears. Here we go. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. Nothing catches like my other pair. And right now I have 2 layers. Very comfortable to the hand. Very, very nice. And there you have it. The A pieces are done. Next we need 2 of the B pieces. And I always trace on the back of the fabric. Not that I'm worried about it staining the fabric, but just in case it's a shape that fits a certain way on the pattern. So I just do them all the same. Same way with pinking. Not all the sides need to be pinked, but I like to do that so that I don't have to figure out which ones need to be pinked. It's called being the lazy quilter. And again, those scissors are amazing. All right, let's pin this one. And cut these out. Very, very nice. And your fabric may shift, but it's okay. In my patterns, I allow for a 1/8 inch seam allowance, so it will be just fine if they shift. There are our 2 B's. Then we need 4 of the C's. We'll take these scissors, cut this in half. I am not kidding, guys. It cuts like butter. Now we need 4 of these. And I just traced it like that. Okay. If you want, go ahead and pin. Oh yeah, no problem with 4 pieces of fabric. Look at that. Perfect. All right. And you guys have seen me use the other pinking shears, and I have struggled For the D, I only need one, and it's just the center square. I thought that these blue fabrics were so pretty. If you're just cutting one piece of fabric, it goes right through it. And here I just need a little bit trimmed. And it's very precise. I didn't have to worry about that little piece. And there is our 1D piece. Isn't that pretty? Then we need 4 E pieces. And we'll just layer those up. We'll draw our shape. And here again, we'll be cutting through 4 layers of fabric. And you can actually, with these, most pinking scissors, you have to open it up even when you get to here. This, you can just go ahead and close it all the way, and it will cut. And it goes around the curves really nice. Just like that. There are our 4 E pieces. We need 4 of the F, and I'm just using this really pretty linen. Make sure I have the back side up on all of these. There we go. And again, if you wanted, when you're cutting these, you could pin them. Okay, here we go. Cuts right to the edge. There are our 4 F pieces. And then we need 8 of these little triangles. I just needed to press that edge so that I could use it. Because we want to make sure that these will all, that the triangle will fit on all of them. Okay. There's that. And I'm just going to do 4 at a time because these are so tiny. I think I have to bring this one down a little. Okay. All right, there's 4 that are done. And then we need 4 more of the G's. I'm just going to trim off these edges, and no problem. Easy, easy, easy. Now we have, flip these over, we have our 8 G pieces. And thanks to those scissors, we got it done really fast. All right, next we'll bring over our pellon. And we've got our pattern handy. Just keep that handy. Okay, I've got my Pellon with the glue side up, which will be the bumpy side. I'm going to take my B pieces, and I don't even mind that I got the selvage in there, because I think that'll be cute. Or I could just put it here on the edge and it won't even get seen. But if it did, I don't even mind. I think I will press this because it's curling up. And if you want to be sure that your pieces stay down while you're working on it, this was a suggestion from one of our lovely viewers. Just a couple dots of glue on there. That way we don't have to worry about it moving while we're working. So I'm just going to put that right there. And then I will do the same thing on the other side. And here is our other piece. Just on the edge of the Pellon. Then we're going to take our A pieces. Same thing. If you want to put a couple of dots of glue, this is basically our frame. Because we have points in the pattern, we don't want to lose those. And there's a little overlap, which I'm not worried about, because we can trim that up later. And I need to be over a little. There we go. Just make sure I'm on the edge of the Pellon. And same way with this one. All right, now we have our frame. Then what I want to do is I usually pick it up, and on my little template here, I know that my center is right here. I do have a center block. It's the D block. I will go ahead and lay that down, but I will be flipping it back up because I would like those pinked edges in the center. But I want to lay that down so that I can frame everything around it. And I'm just folding and pinching in the center so that I know where to place it. And you know these are going to be wonky anyway, but it just gives us an idea. Next, I want to lay the C pieces. And you can lay these in any order you want. It's just totally up to you. And then I overlap about 1/4 of an inch. That's one C piece. That's 2, 3, and 4. And then what I want to do is bring this back up. I've got my handy dandy tweezers here so that I don't mess everything up. But I'm going to grab this and lay this down. Or I could just pull it up, right? There we go. And I already know from my fold in the center where it goes. Just make sure that this is aligned. That's what I wanted to do. I want these pinked edges on top. And this is what we have so far. Isn't that cute? And then again, if you want to put some glue dots, just some tiny dots, you can do that. Let's grab our E pieces that look like this. they go like that. And I will be picking up these corners. No rhyme or reason. Just like that. We'll lay this one here. So pretty, right? And then dot of glue. And the thing with the glue is if you needed to, you can pull it right off. If you're not happy with the placement. Okay. Next, let's place the 4 squares. These are the F pieces, and they go like that. But I think I will be lifting these. What do you think? Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And these go right in the corner. And we'll lift this up. Like that. Same way with this one. And this one. Okay. There's our 4 corners. And then we just have to place the triangles. And these just go there. And lift this one. Let me see how I want to do that. Or do I want them on the outside? I could do that. Oops. I think I will put those on the outside. And then the square will be like that. Bring this up a little. Because I still have some of the pinked edge of that. And then we'll pull this one back out. And I still think that we retain the shape of our Weathervane block. And then this will go here. Over a little more, I think. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. But I'm not sure about that. Okay. And then down here we need to pull these. Put those there. That's part of the creative process, right? We can move them around how we want. Okay. Then this will go here. This will go here. I kind of really like this because it's kind of like hiding or tucking in these patches, right? I really like that. That is darling. I am ready to slide this off onto our batting very carefully. So we're going to go just like that. Hold it down and pull this off. And we'll make sure that our pellon is lined up with the batting. There we go. Check all the sides. Now mine is not going to be perfect because my cuts aren't always straight. But I think this is darling. And I already messed it up. Then all I need to do is give this a quick press. I'll put a few pins in and I'll go do the magic at the sewing machine. And I'll be back to show you this lovely, lovely block. Look at this. I am totally in love with this one. And this one is the Weathervane block. But so cute. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a Bible verse and a final thought to encourage you from Isaiah 40, verse 31. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Sometimes life feels like stitching a quilt. Pieces scattered and seams are messy. Yet, when we trust in God, He renews our strength, guiding us stitch by stitch, bringing beauty from our brokenness. Keep trusting, keep stitching, and watch as God creates something wonderful from your scraps. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you watching, sharing, and commenting. It truly means the world to me. And until the next video, God bless you.